Boys, match week 1 is in the books. 10 results. You guys ready to get into it?
Let's do it. I love talking about when Chelsea wins.
Yeah, I was going to say, we should all be excited.
When Chelsea wins, huh?
This is the Red Card Radio Review Show. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. That's Brad. He supports Chelsea. Down below that, Sean. He supports Tottenham Hotspurs. Boys, good evening. Hello, how we doing? Did you guys have a good weekend?
Yeah. Fantastic. I love this weekend. It was a great weekend.
Mine kicked off pretty well as well. You know, it's always nice Friday evening, Friday afternoon, get that victory in. So you start the weekend off right?
Brad, or James, would you say it's a win-win?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Is there any H's involved?
Are there any H's?
It's a win-win when you win.
That's
win.
That's I think you right.
Is that your grandfather talking there, Sean?
No, I'm lobbing grenades at Brad for win. Throwing too many wins.
Oh, okay. I was confused. It's not easy. It's pretty easy to confuse me, but all right, let's get into it. So Friday night last week, Crystal Palace hosted Arsenal at Selhurst Park. Arsenal get the 2-0 victory. Saturday morning, Fulham was hosting Liverpool in London. That game ends in a 2-2 draw. I don't think any of us saw that coming. We will get into that result in the Red Card Radio pick of the week. That was Bournemouth hosting Villa. Bournemouth, newly promoted Bournemouth, get the 2-0 victory over Villa. Leeds and Wolves. Leeds win 2-1. Newcastle hosting Nottingham Forest. Newcastle get the 2-0 victory. I'm sure Joel was real excited about that. In North London, Tottenham was hosting Southampton. They get the 4-1 victory. That is the most goals scored this weekend. So kind of a goal fest at the.
It's Toppenham.
Toppenham.
Oh, Toppenham when we're top of the table.
Interesting. We'll look at the league table here in a second, though. I'll get into my league table caveat here in a second. Up on the Mersey, Everton hosting Chelsea. Chelsea get the 1-0 victory, and then Leicester City hosting Brentford. That game ends in a 2-2 draw. United hosting Brighton. Brighton get the 2-1 victory at Old Trafford. What a way to start the season. Manchester United slander incoming. We're all here for it. And then at the London Stadium, West Ham hosting Manchester City, the champions. They're just rolling. The robots are rolling. Erling Haaland with 2 goals. Should have probably had 3, but City get that 2-0 victory. So I mean, I guess I'm obliged to pull up the league table, show everyone who's watching on YouTube so they can see the league table. You will hear this caveat from me until match week 11, until our match week 11 episodes. I think looking at the league table until after 10 games have been played is stupid, personally. I think everything's so volatile right now. But that's my caveat. You'll hear it every week. Without further ado, though, here we go. This is what it's looking like. Spurs are in first position. Arsenal second. Bournemouth, City, Newcastle United, Brighton, Leeds, Chelsea, Brentford, Fulham, Leicester City, Liverpool, Manchester United, Wolves, Everton, Villa, Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, and Southampton. That's the 20 teams in the order in which they lie as of right now. Sean, do you want to get some gloating in?
I will. And this is at the expense of Jimmy.
Okay.
So far this season through 1 week, much alike to last season through the entire 38 weeks, Tottenham have this year alone led the top of the table at the end of a match week for more weeks than Liverpool did all of last season.
Oh, wow. Dang.
Which was 0.
Wow.
And last year, all 3 of us led at the end of a match week more times than Liverpool last year because, again, that number was 0.
Are you counting Arsenal before the season started when there were still 0 points on the board?
Oh, Arsenal held the top spot for a second, didn't they? Oh, then he doesn't. He sucks. Chelsea. It's just Spurs and Chelsea then.
We lost our first 3
Set
games.
that up on purpose. You just doo-dooed on yourself. I was including you.
We just waiting for you to realize how bad Arsenal were at the start of the season. Do you not remember? Because
What?
this is when James started complaining about the table. The table doesn't matter until week 10.
Yo.
Because they lost 3 games
They
in a
came
row.
on strong for a little bit. I thought they might have finished the week there.
City was just storming through everybody.
Brad,
Tottenham were at top in like late September.
yes, I think Tottenham were on top for a second, weren't they, with Nuno?
It was 2 or 3 weeks, yeah.
But you guys also
Nuno, yeah,
you guys
but I'm not
also
talking-
beat City in the first match week, so it was easy for you guys to be up there. Brad, I take offense to you claiming that I think that we shouldn't look at the match. Like, I made that up last year. I've said that for years. For 10 damn years, I've been saying that. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It's super, super volatile. So you'll hear me say it, and you'll hear me talk about it for weeks on end, because it's really like such a... It doesn't tell you anything. Okay, Spurs are in first position this week. They could be 11th next week. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter.
Probably will be.
Well, it's interesting you say
We'll
that.
see about that.
You guys will have to check in Friday morning for the Red Card Radio preview show, because Chelsea and Spurs are playing this weekend, so we'll have to see. But we're not here to talk about match week 2. We're here to put a bow on match week 1. So since I'm still talking right now, I have a bone to pick with you and Joel. All three is said that Arsenal were dropping points. How many? Arsenal got all three. All 3.
Listen, it's kind of your MO to drop points week 1, so.
No, it's not. We did it once last year. We did it last year.
Yeah, well, you started a trend. You can't start a trend without doing it first.
But it's not a trend if it happens one time.
I mean, a London derby.
But you can't start a
week
trend.
1.
You can't start a trend without doing it first, man.
That's an absurd comment. But you guys take a little bit less stick than Joel, because Joel said Palace was going to win. Y'all at least said that Arsenal were going to get a draw. So
I think I said 2-2 draw.
Yeah,
and I said 2 Gabriels were going to score. And I was dismayed to find out that Guy,
yeah,
we pronounce that right?
I think that's
not
correct.
named Gabriel on the own goal.
Yeah, Goihi, yeah. Sorry, I don't.
Goihi is not named Gabriel, so I
Also,
don't get full credit
not
for
Brazilian.
that.
Not Brazilian.
Also, not on Arsenal.
True, it was an own goal, but it wasn't a bad own goal. It was one of those situations where the offense kind of put the defense in a position, and the defender had to try and make a play on the ball, and it just ricocheted off his head into the goal. It's one of those things where the offense created the goal, and it was just unfortunate with the way that it went in off the defender. But Arsenal looked pretty sharp. I will say that after
was it a Gabriel that kicked it?
No, it was a Saka.
Okay.
It was a Saka. Yeah. So Saka was putting a cross. Saka was putting a cross in, and the dude just had to put a head on it and went into the goal. Okay, so Arsenal looked sharp. I think, after the first 3 minutes, we dominated Palace until we got the first goal. Absolutely dominated them. And then after we scored the first goal, we kind of took the pedal off the gas a little bit. Coming into the second half, Palace looked resurgent. They looked strong. They certainly looked probably more likely to score than Arsenal at that point. But Arsenal were very, very resolute defensively. Shout out to William Saliba. He had an amazing game. Wasn't dribbled past, won all his aerial duels. The dude is stout. So that's man of the match performance in his first Arsenal appearance. The dude is good. And I've been saying for 2 years the dude is good. And you guys have kind of been ignoring me. But you guys are going to see this year that this dude is good.
Does he keep Ben White on the right? What happens when Tomiyasu's back, or when your right back is back?
When Tomiyasu's back, he might keep Ben White on the bench. And Ben White had an amazing game too. So it'll be interesting to see. It's a good problem to have. It's a very good problem to have.
How long is Gabriel out then? Where does Gabriel fit in?
He plays.
Gabriel's the other starter.
Yeah. Mangalas and Saliba were playing center back together. Ben White was on the right because Tomiyasu's still recovering from his injury. So Ben White was playing right back. Saliba was the right center back, and Gabriel was the left center back with Zinchenko on the left back. So,
and Bellerin's trying to bounce, so that's why he didn't play.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been well known. I hope Hector gets what he wants. Dude deserves it. love Hector Bellerin. I hope he gets everything that he wants in his life. I hope he goes to Betis and Betis wins La Liga. That would be amazing. But yeah, so I don't know. I thought it was a good result. I would like to see Arsenal turn the screws a little bit more. But let's shift gears to this Fulham Liverpool game. I think Brad, you watched that game, right? You watched that one pretty closely, right?
I did, sir. I did.
What are your thoughts on that one?
So a couple of notes. Big thing is Dean Henderson will be the reason why Nottingham Forest stays up.
Bro, wrong game. You're looking at the notes for the Nottingham Forest game.
Bad.
I said Fulham.
You're correct. My bad. Fulham. I still think Fulham goes down, but they 100% deserve that point. Mitrovic was a beast. Kind of a beast. He had Trent to go over. I don't know if you guys saw that picture, but
Sean Stradamus. Who called it?
Fulham's going down. You didn't call Fulham winning or
Sean
drawing?
Stradamus. I didn't call it. I said Sean Stradamus proclaimed that Fulham's not only staying up, but Mitrovic is having a good season. And what are we off to?
We'll see.
2. You got 2.
We'll see.
Mitrovic put Van Dijk in a body bag.
That is true. I did see that quote that that Van Dijk was dribbled past for the first time in the Premier League by Mitrovic, and there was another thing that the first thing happened by Van Dijk in the Premier League, and it was Mitrovic. He did 2 things.
Was it give up a penalty?
Yes, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Because
it was terrible.
That was a borderline penalty.
No, it's a penalty. Like he steps across his body. He hangs
it probably was. It probably was because he overreached. It could have won it. If that was a no call, I wouldn't have been stomping and stammering. But yeah, it was pretty borderline. But I probably would have called the penalty.
And last point for that match was Salah still got a goal, but Anthony Robinson played him very, very well. Salah was quiet for much of the match, and it was our American boy Anthony Robinson doing most of that work.
So this is my thought on Mo Salah. At the end of last season, he had a really poor end of the last season, I feel like. And I know this is only one game into this season, but like if Mo Salah doesn't get kicking and like start producing like we expect Mo Salah to, do we start to we don't start to be concerned about it, but should Liverpool fans start to be worried? Because he just got the bag. Like he just signed his new contract, new extension. He got a lot of money. I don't know exactly how much you got, but I would imagine it's in the $300K a week range. Like I'm sure he got a lot of money. So that's something that, Liverpool fans, I think, will want to see him start producing, pretty quickly.
I'm sure he will.
I do.
He's been probably the most consistent performer in the Premier League in the last probably 5 years. Yeah. It's like him and Kane are very consistent every year and putting their numbers up.
Yeah. I mean, I would love for him to not be consistent this year. That would be great. But I fully expect Salah to kick on.
He's making $350 a week.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. A lot of money. Sean, tell me about this Leeds Wolves game.
So a couple of points on this. Another American reference. We got Aronson coming in. I was surprised to see him in his first game in the Premier League make his first start. I believe he came over from Bundesliga. We didn't look it up, but we had a discrepancy. It could have been Hoffenheim, or I thought it was Leipzig. But he came over from Bundesliga, I believe. And first game for start, even with an American, we talked about this pre-pod, James, that James's perspective was that maybe it was a little American bias because of an American manager. And I said, no, my thought was, no, that's how he got on the team. Was an American bias, was he went out and got him because he saw the potential. You don't go through a summer of training, and I just don't think any Premier League manager would risk their job for a home cooking if they didn't think they were going to be able to produce. And clearly he was right. By putting him out there, he got a goal. It was a pretty good goal. It was screaming across the middle, needed to put a foot to it. He did it. And yeah, I was just really impressed with Leeds after losing their 2 best players, replacing them with a number of players, filling it in the aggregate, and putting together a strong product. I mean, beating Wolves and scoring 2 goals is not easy.
Yeah. So. We're going to switch gears a little. Joel had a comment coming into this week about the Newcastle game. So Joel hit us with a big game for the Toon. St. James will be bouncing, confident for a win there. Let's see, though. Loving the new format. Appreciate it, Joel. So I appreciate that you like the new format. And so like Joel did, let us know if you're listening to this. You're new here or you've listened for a while. Let us know what you think about the new format. But Joel was pretty confident going into this game, and for good reason. Newcastle get the 2-0 victory, as we said earlier, over Nottingham Forest. Brad, it sounded earlier like you had notes about this game because you were talking about Dean Henderson. Do you want to talk about Dean Henderson now?
Yeah, well, we had that rumor that Dean Henderson was going to Newcastle, so that's where I got confused. That's on me. But my notes on the game: Dean Henderson will keep Nottingham Forest up. He was amazing in goal. I know it's 2-0, but Newcastle struggled to score a goal until Burn hit an absolute worldie. Sorry. Their center back hit a worldie from outside of the box, inside post. It was awesome. I don't think there's a goalie that really saves that shot. Couple of quick notes on Newcastle. Joelinton should never shoot the ball ever again. That shot I know gave Joel like flashbacks to when he was playing striker for them. Like I could feel the cringe and the yelling and screaming because when he watches Joelinton play, that's all he does is yell at him. The other note, Almiron needs to be replaced. Like they need a solid right winger. I don't know who that would be, but that would be if I'm Newcastle, that's my next step. Is you need a stronger right wing. To balance that back out.
I was certainly pleased to see my boy Joe Willock get the start. So,
yeah, they held it down in the midfield. Like that's a really strong three. Willock, Joelinton, and Guimaraes. It's a really strong like anchor point for them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What about?
I still think Nottingham Forest stays up.
I mean, they need to, or they're gonna implode with all the money they spent. Sean, what about this goal fest? This Spurs Southampton goal fest. I will point out. I think I'm the only one that predicted Southampton to get relegated. We could check the sheets, but I know I picked Southampton to get relegated this year, and they got smashed.
It should have been 5-1. I'm not going to gloat that hard. I think my big takeaways were the biggest point being bullet point number 1. We scored 4 goals without Harry Kane or Sons scored. That's huge. That's big time for us. None of them saw the score sheet. So Kulusevski's goal was really good to see, and we spread the love around.
Eric Dyer scored a goal.
Yeah, that could have been anybody. Of course, it's Dyer laying out his face is about a foot off the turf, trying to deflect it in, and it does.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. So it was a good game. It was good to see, and the other big takeaway I was happy to see is we got Perisic on, we got Lingale on, we got Basoma on, and one more new one hit the field. The only one that I didn't see was Spence, I believe.
Richarlison didn't play because he was suspended, of course.
He's suspended. Yeah, there's another one that I'm misplacing. Oh, yeah, Perisic, Lingale, Basoma. Another new player hit the field.
Was it Forster?
Nope.
Did he come in for Hugo?
Because I know Lucas Moura came on as well, and I think that was just to spell Kula.
I know you sent this out at the beginning, Brad, that you were like, you texted us right before that game started. You're like, oh, none of the new signings in the starting 11 for Spurs. It's all the same 11.
Yep.
I texted during the game that all 3 of those new ones with Moura were up to go on at like the 79th minute. And there wasn't a stoppage in the game until like the 87th.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. That happens.
It does.
It
does. But yeah, it was just good to see all the new signings come on. I would like to see Basoma. Soon, I don't think you bring on the new signing. I don't think you mess with a good thing going into Chelsea.
No,
I think you just hold tight with what you got and you start to experiment other games.
Yeah, you guys won. You guys scored 4 goals. I would keep it the same coming in next week. Speaking of Chelsea, Brad, Chelsea get a 1-0 victory away at Everton. When I looked at the lineup of that game, Everton were playing a 5-4-1 with a number 10, Gordon, as their lone attacking player. I looked at this and I was like, this is Frank Lampard remembering when Jose Mourinho used to just park the bus at Stamford Bridge. So like,
Oh yeah.
like were Everton just difficult to break down, or were Chelsea not clinical? Because I thought you guys were going to score like 7 goals against them, if I'm honest. Okay,
Not
both.
really. We didn't create enough opportunities. We had the ball a lot, just like Chelsea always does, but we didn't. There wasn't that final run. Like Sterling would get the ball and look to make a pass for a final run, but there wasn't anybody making those runs.
Okay, does that concern you long term, or do you think that this is something that the team will gel and figure out?
I think as they get used to having a Sterling being able to take the ball, dribble past somebody, and make a pass, and somebody's going to make that run, I think it's going to happen. I'm not super concerned.
Is he like Chicharito but can dribble?
Yeah, and we saw that. He actually, you know what? He actually had a poacher's goal, but it was offsides by like a mile. But yeah, we got the win. I don't know if you guys know this, but Chelsea has now won 3 times in 9 seasons at Goodison Park. Just a hint. The last 2 times that we won, we went on to win the league. So it's written in the stars, baby. We can shut it down now. We don't need to play the other 37 games. Chelsea's bringing it home.
I would appreciate you to keep that same energy at match week 25.
Oh yeah, I will. Don't worry, it's still coming. Koulibaly looked awesome for his 70 minutes played. We got Cucurella on for a little bit, which was awesome. He was moving a lot. I love the energy he brought on that left side.
I think the real test for Koulibaly is going to be at Spurs this weekend, when you guys host Spurs. I think that's going to be his real test, because what was the percentage line on that? Like, who had the possession percentage? I'm sure Chelsea had like 70%.
Hold on, I can get it for you.
It's not super important.
63 to 37. So yeah,
that's a big discrepancy.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Tottenham doesn't play with the ball either, though, so I think it'll probably be
Tottenham
close
last
at
year.
60-40.
Tottenham last year didn't play with the ball. I think Tottenham this year is gonna be different.
We'll see.
We would be remiss here at Red Card Radio if we did not at least mention and talk about, for more than just a minute, Manchester United, the Red Devils. Boy, oh boy, losing at home to Brighton with Rafael Varane and Cristiano Ronaldo sitting on the bench. This is not the way Ten Hag wanted to get his career at United underway. But United, it's the same problems that they've been experiencing. Is that it wasn't really like a Harry Maguire issue this week. It was Fred and McTominay in the middle of the park just are habitually out of position and just so easy to play through. And it's kind of mind-boggling. If you look at Manchester United's transfer targets this season and what they lost in the offseason, it doesn't even sound like that they tried to. I mean, they spent 3 months trying to sign Frankie de Jong, but I don't think Frankie de Jong would fix the issues that Manchester United currently have in their midfield.
Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Eriksen was the number 9 or false 9 or whatever it was.
Well, yeah, he was playing for Eriksen.
That's
He never had the ball. He didn't get the ball a lot. Like, so he couldn't really do anything.
well, yeah, but like that's putting him way out of position. That's why.
Well, I thought he was playing more of like a 10 behind Rashford and Sancho and who was the other one playing up top?
That's Fernandez, Bruno.
Oh yeah,
How could you forget about Bruno?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We don't talk
about Bruno.
You can tell who the dads are here. Yeah, but Manchester United, they've got a bag of problems that they need to figure out very quickly. I mean, I hope they don't. Again, I'll say that I hope they don't figure it out at all. But if they are having it seems like the fans are already planning a mass exodus against Liverpool. Like, I already saw a tweet go up that's saying, like, everyone should leave the stands during the Liverpool United game. So we'll see what happens there.
If this continues, how long does Ten Hag have to get the season?
They have to give him the next 3 seasons to even have a chance. If they fire Ten Hag midway through the season, who is going to take a United job in the future?
Ronaldo.
No, they'd be dead. It would be really poor. So, but yeah, I think that's a good place to end it tonight. A little bit of United slander. Does that feel
Love
good?
some United slander.
Does that feel good to you guys? It does, right? It feels right. It feels like it's been something I've been missing for the last 10 or 12 weeks, but it just feels like home.
Yes.
Feels like home.
Sitting in there getting comfy.
Let us know what you guys think in the comments on YouTube, or drop us a line on Twitter. That is at KSBradG. Down below, that's at Whiteheart_Sean. I am at James Tiffany, and you can hit us all up collectively at redcard_radio. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a like, hit us with a subscribe, all that good stuff. We really appreciate it. And do give us some feedback if you're liking the new format, if you're hating the new format. We would love to hear from you. But until next time, make sure you check back throughout the week, because we got new episodes dropping Thursday morning and Friday morning as well. You should definitely check those out. But until then, we'll see you guys next time. Good night.